And on the phone, the host of the Bethany Christian Assembly Hymn Sing event, the quarterly event happening this coming Saturday, May 9th at Bethany Christian Assembly in Everett. We've got Brian Welk on the phone once again. Hi there, Brian.
Hi, Mark.
Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you.
Well, it's
you're
good
still
to be heard.
You're still working on some cabin out there in Lake Rossinger. I think the last time we talked, you were working on that cabin, but fortunately getting close to finishing that project because you are a construction worker. You got a contracting business. When you're not pastoring Bethany Christian Assembly's Hymn Sing events, and also tell us about your involvement with something called Traditions. What is Traditions there at Bethany?
Traditions is our Sunday morning worship service at Bethany. We meet in the chapel in conjunction with the contemporary service that's going on in the main auditorium. And we do all the old traditional hymns and that for the worship time. And then they stream the message in via video for that day. And we have a great crowd that is there, usually runs 200 to 250 on a Sunday morning, and the people just love it.
So keeping hymns alive, keeping traditional music alive at Bethany Christian Assembly, their Traditions service. This seems like what a lot of services do. It's ironic that probably one of the most, I don't know, divisive is the right word, but certainly tastes run different in churches. People like the traditional service, as they say, and then the more contemporary service a lot of times, and it's mainly about music and worship styles.
Yes, and I have gone through a lot of them. I grew up in a church, in the Assembly of God Church in Anacortes, and my dad was the worship leader for 55 years there.
Wow.
And so he endured the same type of thing. He had people say to him when Gaither music started coming out, like songs like Because He Lives and that, they said, "Oh, you can't sing those because those aren't in the hymn book."
Right.
And so they were staunch hymn book people, you know. And so
they're all in the hymn book now, though.
Gone through a lot of different ones.
Yeah,
exactly. So the new hymn books, they're in there, and they're considered old songs now.
Right. Well, hey, we have an interesting guest coming up for this Saturday's Hymn Sing event, Sherman Andres, who was with Andres Blackwood and Company, but also he was with the Imperials and got his start actually as one of Andre Crouch's disciples. I didn't know that.
Yep, and that's where I met him, was at a memorial for a lady at our church in Shoreline, and Andre actually came and sang at her memorial with Sherman and Andre's sister, the original disciples. And so that's where I met Sherman and Andre. And then I reconnected with Sherman about 9 months ago when he did a little gig in Snohomish at the Snohomish Assembly of God Church. And so I went to hear him and kind of rekindled that relationship and told him I would love to have him at a hymn sing. And he said, well, just let me know and I'll be glad to come and do it. He lives in Linden now, and he's excited to come and share with us at this one.
Yeah, I think I've seen Sherman at church I was attending by 20, 30 years ago. He's still singing. He's in his early 80s, but lots of music with Andre Crouch, Imperials, and probably his best-known stuff with Terry Blackwood. Let's hear a song that I think everybody knows, probably the best-known song Sherman Andres sang with Terry Blackwood. It's called Wonderful on KCIS. Jesus, you're so wonderful. Love the sound of Sherman Andres, Andres Blackwood and Company, and Sherman is going to be part of the Hymn Sing event this Saturday, 2 o'clock, and that kind of matinee time for the hymn sings that you started a few hymn sings back seems to be working for the group that attends these hymn sings, right, Brian?
Yes, it works really well. The people love being able to come in the afternoon, especially in the winter time where it gets dark earlier. They love to be able to come in the daylight and go home in the daylight. And it just seems to be working really well. And so we'll continue with that. And we'll continue. We always have refreshments and stuff at the end and time of fellowship. And so that'll be there as well.
Is your trio going to be singing as well, Evergreen?
Yep. Evergreen Three will be singing. We'll also have a special Andre Crouch medley by the Grants, who has sung at our hymn sings prior. Steve and Stacy Grant. Steve is Natalie Grant's brother.
Right.
And he plays piano now for us in our traditions services. And as well as he's going to be stepping in and doing the major part at the hymn sings after this one. Mark is going to be stepping aside and going to kind of lay down that mantle and pass it on to a younger guy. So Steve is going to actually pick that up. So we're going to use that time to kind of introduce him and then do that to Andre Crouch medley for a finale.
Okay, well, looking forward to it. Lots of great music and featuring Sherman Andres of Andres Blackwood and Company this Saturday, Bethany Christian Assembly, their hymn sing event, and great music that you don't get to hear much anymore, but you'll hear a lot of it on Saturday. Again, 2 o'clock, Bethany Christian Assembly in Everett. There's details and directions at kcisradio.com. It's a free event, but be prepared to give a free will offering so we can see these hymn sings continue. Thanks for your great work with so many churches there, rendezvousing at Bethany Christian Assembly. Brian Welk.
Thank you, Mark. It's good to talk with you, and we look forward to seeing you on the 9th.
Yep, I will be there as well with my wife, Jenny. Be sure and say hi if you come by at the KCIS booth.